Hello, welcome back to It Is What It Is with Van. I'm Van, and this is weirdly the last episode of 2024. That's scary. Don't know how that happened. Don't know where time went. A classic grandma or something being time slipped away. I blinked my eyes and you were an adult. That is how I feel about this podcast, about this year, about December. I haven't done one Christmas thing, and it is December 20th. Not one thing. I haven't seen one Christmas light. I haven't watched The Grinch, which is criminal. I haven't sipped on hot cocoa. I have not been holly nor jolly. You know what I mean? It's just none of those things have been present this year. So I'm going to try and jam pack them in this weekend. I'm not seeing family this Christmas. I'm not going home for Christmas. I'm staying put. I have my apartment all to myself. I think we're just kind of protecting our peace, staying calm, and not being go for once in our life. That is what I learned for 2024, okay? And we're just going to be selfish this year. So anyways, hi, welcome back. Happy holidays, all the things. I hope you're doing what you enjoy and getting to spend time with people that you love, or spending time all alone, because that is equally as fulfilling. On that topic of 2024 coming to an end, I decided let's reflect on 2024. I know I only started this podcast midway through the year. We haven't been through everything together, although we've been through some pretty crispy parts of my life, and I've been lucky enough to document those moments. Getting cheated on in Mexico by an Italian man, and quitting my job, and all the other things that have unfolded. But there's still so much more that y'all do not know about. And it's funny because I was having my weekly breakdown, as I do, right on schedule, a Monday, crying, frantically texting friends, and being talked off the ledge. And I was ironically I am not where I want to be. I didn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish this year. Just being a classic negative Nancy. I did then get my period 2 days later, so it all did make sense why this breakdown was especially bad. And I don't know how, as women, we always forget that this happens every single month, and I will have a breakdown, and then I will be like, why am I having a breakdown? Oh my God, do I want to, KMS? And then I get my period and I'm like, oh, okay. And I forget that that's a cycle every month, and I freak out every time. But anyways, it was right on schedule. We are fine. But, I was saying all these things about how I wasn't where I wanted to be, comparison of I go on social media and I see all these people that are booking things and this and that and so successful, whatever, la-di-da-di-da, cry me a river and push me in it, you know what I mean? Then, funny enough, I went on TikTok that night, and the trend was going around of where the first picture is someone and with the title, feeling I didn't accomplish much in 2024. And then you go over to the next slide and it's a list of all the things that they accomplished. It could be small wins, big wins, whatever, but it's just laying out and then giving yourself recognition of, oh shit, I actually went through a lot. And that list could be as short as simply as I got through this fucking year. And that is fucking plenty enough. You know what I mean? It could be as short or as long as you want, but I ended up doing the trend, and I sat there and I thought about all the things, the little minute things that I was not thinking about when I was having my breakdown. Oh, fuck. I actually went through so much this year. I got through so much, and I'm so proud of myself. So in return, I then made that TikTok into a full-on list, and I wrote exactly what I wrote on this trend. And I kind of wanted to just go through it because I think it's important that, it's typical at the end of the year. You see everyone's highlights, you see this, you see that, all these people that had great years. But I think it's so important not to just reflect on these huge things and to pat yourself on the back for getting through life and getting through things that were hard for you. I just wanted to go through my list and maybe make some of you guys not feel so alone, or maybe help you realize things that you've gone through. I strongly encourage everyone to make their own list of things that they accomplished, and it doesn't have to be these grand things of, I started my own business and became so successful and I got my dream role and all these things that we usually see us highlighted on social media. And I think I was looking at my mood board and stuff which granted, when I look at my mood board, which it's on my wall, I have it broken up in 4 different divisions of what I wanted to focus on in my life. One was TV and film, one was connections, one was travel, and one was fitness. And I can confidently say I kind of accomplished everything on there. Was it to the degree of what I wanted to accomplish it to? No, I have TV and film on there. Did I book a Netflix series and my career took off? No. Do I have friends that has happened to? Yes. Am I so happy for them and I love that for them? Yes. Do I wish I got to experience that as well. Yes, but that doesn't mean that I didn't also have a win in some type of way. And I'll go into that in my list. Connections is on there. That was a huge thing. And I think obviously you can go back to 2 episodes ago where I talk about platonic love. I think it's very clear that I at least felt successful in building my connections and doing that and having deeper and more meaningful connections. Travel, did that. Traveled to some of the places I never thought I'd go. Okay. And then fitness. I mean, I fucking work at a gym now, so I don't know how much more fitness could be a part of my life. And, I was very, very diligent about Equinox and Pilates, and I can confidently say that I got my body to a place where I am proud of. Is it my dream body that I have pictured on there? No. Is it a better body than what I came into this year with? I actually take care of it now and love it and appreciate it. Yeah, I can confidently say that. So I guess let's just get into my little list of things that I accomplished. In no way, shape, or form or any of these brags. We're going to sit down, we're going to be realistic, we're going to celebrate, and I think that we all forget to celebrate our little or big wins and to pat ourselves on the back. So I hope that this encourages all of you to also make things that you accomplish in 2024. And this is kind of in chronological order. I just thought from the very beginning of January or even this time last year, and then kind of worked my way through the year of things that I accomplished or I got through that I've never once really stopped to think about or give myself a pat on the back for. So the number one thing that I got through in 2024 or that I accomplished, I got through a breakup, and a very brutal breakup, while still living with that ex. And it is so crazy to think back to this time last year, December. Oh yeah, and it's also been a full 1-year anniversary of my breakup, which is also such an accomplishment and such a crazy thing to reflect on. And it's so crazy that I say this with a smile, and the smile just naturally comes to my face. But it is so crazy because I remember this exact time last year as if it was yesterday. I was so ruined, genuinely ruined. Again, it wasn't because I felt I lost my soulmate. It wasn't because I felt I lost the love of my life. It was just so shattering and so unexpected, but also expected. It should have happened a long time ago. I know I still haven't done an episode all about that in my past, and we were together 2 years. We had lived together for a year and a half. We had a dog together. We worked together. To have the breakup happen the way it did on a random night after date night when I thought everything was on the mend, and it to just switch a flip. I just remember that date night. We had planned out our Christmas. I was going to go with him and his family. We had 2 weeks off of work. To go from that to my entire world flipping upside down was insane. It just truly broke me as a human. I suddenly had so much I had to figure out that I was not expecting to figure out at all. We had just moved into this apartment. We'd only lived here 2 months. We lived somewhere else before. It was just so much happened, and it all happened while I was still living with him. I still had to see him every single day, and we lived together, I think, for a little bit over 2 months, and it was the holidays. And you know what I mean? I already had all his Christmas presents bought. I had his family's Christmas presents bought. I went from being excited to spend the holidays with him and his family. It would be my second Christmas with them to, oh, okay, I'm going to be stuck here alone. I'm not going to spend Christmas with anyone. All my friends are out of town. It was just so heartbreaking and so sad. And it's so sad to go through a breakup during the holiday seasons, especially weeks before it, and to have then no plans. I had 2 weeks off of work, and I just spent it at home crying, not knowing what I was going to do. And so I look back and I'm, holy shit, I got through that. I did it. And I did it while living with my ex. Only people that have had to go through living with their ex while also trying to get over their ex knows this very certain type of pain and just heartbreak. Even though you're not heartbroken, I knew that wasn't my person. I knew it was for the better, but you still go through the loss. You still go through that was the person that you spend every single day with, and you've built a life together, especially him and I. The pain of trying to silent cry when you know that the person you're crying over is on the other side of your wall is a different kind of pain. It isn't something I wish on anybody, and to be going through that during the holiday season, just everything on top of it, and then to have no form of escape because it was then I'd go to work and I'd see him, was just a different level. And I don't think I ever properly gave myself grace or gave myself a pat on the back for getting through that and getting through it very strongly. I mean, and I've talked about this before. I think, a lot of it was obviously help to my friends and them helping pick me up and stuff. But I also don't want to discredit all the work that I did for myself and I got through it by myself. So that is something huge that I accomplished. I accomplished a breakup while still having to live with him during the holidays. I think the most heartbreaking thing about it all, when I reflect, is just the lack of empathy from someone that you thought loved you more than anything in the world. And I think that's what really hurt me. It was just dropped on me after planning everything. And it was just kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not in love with you anymore. As if he was telling me the weather. And it's just, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even him breaking up with me. It was just him, maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. And I am proud of myself for being, no, I'm the one that walked away. I was the one, no, then we're done. I mean, obviously, I don't know who would stay if someone told them that, but I don't know, maybe someone would think, oh, we can this, but whatever. That's a whole thing. And I honestly don't even know if I'll ever do an episode getting into it. There's obviously a lot more layers to that. And so that too, I'm proud and I'm accomplished that of walking away from that and doing something that I knew was going to be very hard. And we got through it. Moved all his stuff out. We did it. We got through a breakup while living with the person that we were broken up with. So that is something huge that I accomplished. And on top of that, I found a new roommate. I wanted him to move out immediately. I was perfect timing. We have 2 weeks off of work. Get your shit. Why would you still want to live with your ex? Get out. And then I was, okay, I'll give you a month. And then whatever, that wasn't good enough for him either. So I had to end up giving him 2 months. But I was very on top of it. I found a new roommate within less than a month. I was posting pictures. I was this, I was that. That's what I mean though. You're going through heartbreak, but I gotta figure this shit out. I was like, do I move out? We just moved in here 2 months ago. Am I leaving? Is this leaving? The dogs, this, work. And I got a new roommate. I started over. I, divided up what was mine, what was his, and just completely redid it all and did it without the help of him. And, at that time, it was all his furniture was in this room because this was our room and my stuff was as the guest bedroom. So it's moved all my shit, moved all his shit. My friends obviously came and helped, but no person wants to be boxing up their ex's stuff. Not only does that suck, not only is that labor on you, but it's just, that's what I mean. I did all of that. I packed up his shit in his room, in my room, now my room. I'm the one that took apart the bed. I'm the one that this, I'm the one that. I did all the shit of moving it all, throwing it all into the guest bedroom. I took initiative of all of that and starting my life over and finding a new roommate and finding someone that was going to fit for it. I'll never forget my new roommate. She had come over here. She was going to tour the place, obviously. And I told my ex, hey, can you not be here when she does this? XYZ, this is the time, this is that. Obviously, he did not give two shits. So not only was he here while I had someone touring our apartment, but he was just sitting in his room, which was obviously going to now be her room. So we open the door and my ex is just sitting there on his phone. The room is disgusting. You can't see the floor. Haha. Okay, so here's what would be your room. It's really cute, I swear. And there's not usually a strange man just sitting here. And my ex was just, hey, what is my life? The amount of stories that I could tell of the experiences that I had while my ex was still living here, it was a fucking movie and not a good one. But I accomplished that. I found a new roommate. I got shit done and I got it done efficiently. I was on top of my shit. I then successfully took on being a single mother to 2 dogs. Again, that's a completely different switch up. That's a little bit of a life change, financial change, and responsibility. Again, there was just so much lack of communication with who was going to keep the dog, and I didn't even know that she was going to be mine until the day he moved out, and he just didn't take her. Oh, okay, so she is mine. Got it. Again, that's a whole fucking thing. Taking it on unexpectedly, and I feel I've done a really good job, especially with the challenges that Cora, the dog that was ours, has given me. She started acting up after he moved. She started getting aggressive. All of these things that, again, are from someone else's actions, unfortunately. Again, took care of it, got a trainer, got this. That trainer did ghost me and take all my money, and she, as of 2 weeks ago, has started being aggressive again. So that's a whole other thing that I have to figure out, but I'm doing it, and I've done it, and I've done it alone, and I haven't asked anyone for help. I haven't asked anyone for money. I took this on. I am proud of it. They are very loved, and I'm doing the damn thing. And there's always room for improvement, obviously, on all of this, but I did it, and I took it on, and that is something that I accomplished this year. I also got through that heartbreak in a very healthy way, and I'm very, very proud of myself. That is a huge thing I accomplished. I had my party phase, or whatever we want to call it. I think it's also just I'm in my 20s and I had friends and it was summer. Those first couple months, I think I can say I was over the heartbreak and all of that once he moved out. I think And this was a huge thing with my therapist and I. After a month, I was okay, I feel good. I feel this. I'm not crying anymore. I feel good. It was just then the constant reminder of him because we lived together. That's where it's just so unhealthy and not normal. And that's not something that you should have to go through. I didn't get a clean break at all. And my therapist was, I'm so happy you feel great. We're working through it, whatever. But it's probably going to hit you again once he moves out, because then that's reality. And it did. Once he moved out, that night that he moved out was very, very hard. That was the first time in the whole entire process I saw him cry and show emotion as if he had cared about me. And so that was really difficult. It was just a lot. But I think after that, February, I was good. I was feeling good, and I wasn't turning to drinking. I wasn't trying to escape it. I wasn't getting high. I wasn't doing any unhealthy habits, and I'm really proud of myself for making myself feel it and making myself feel it early on. If I was sad, I would let myself be sad. I would let myself stay in bed. That 2 weeks that I had off of work, I stayed in bed that entire 2 weeks, and I just let myself be sad. I let myself cry every day. I let myself make sad TikToks that are super cringy, but I just did whatever I needed to do to get through the emotions, because I knew if I held on to them, it was just going to come out later, or I was just going to try and hide the pain in unhealthy ways. And I didn't. Friends would invite me out and I'd be like, no, I'm staying my ass home and I am feeling this. I'm not going to mask it with dancing in the clubs. And then also that way, by summer, I was able to actually just have fun. And it wasn't a way of me coping to get over my ex. It was just me genuinely enjoying my time. So that's a huge thing. And yeah, throughout that, I never missed a session of therapy. I'm really proud of myself for that. I would have it once a week for an hour, and I was really diligent. I was really on top of it. I was really honest. That is something I'm proud of. I never missed a therapy session all year. And it wasn't until I lost my insurance that I stopped going after I quit my job. And even now, I'm still trying to figure shit out so that I can see her again. So that is something I'm really proud of as well, is that I consistently showed up for myself, and I showed up in a really healthy way that I don't think I could say I've done in the past with other heartbreaks. It was definitely, I turned to partying and drinking and getting drunk and getting lost in other people. So if you ask me, that's a huge win. And I think through all of that, and with time, and with that energy, and with that love, I found my spark again. And if anything, that's maybe what I'm most proud of this year. I genuinely, and it's funny because this was also a trend on TikTok of, you can't see someone's soul come back to life. And it's, obviously a picture of you when you look shit, and then a picture of you glowing. And I did it. And I was, holy fuck, you really can. I just got my spark back, and I got so much more color into not only my life, but genuinely physically. My eyes were sparkling again. My skin was glowing again. I just genuinely was no longer drained of negative energy. I found that within myself, for myself, by myself, and that is a huge accomplishment. I think last on this whole little breakup, heartbreak, ex part of my life was that I got through, and I did it healthily. This is what I mean. I don't know how the fuck I didn't go insane. I don't know how I didn't become an alcoholic, if I'm being quite honest. But I got through seeing my ex every single day, other than weekends, for a whole year after our breakup. I work with my ex. I got him a job at the company that I used to work for. And I only quit that job in November. So pretty much a whole year while I was healing, while I was getting over it, while I was hating him, while I was questioning my self-worth, all the things that we know that happens after a breakup, especially with the one that him and I had, all the details are, I was doing all of that and then still showing up and being a manager at my work, having to talk to him every single day, having to talk to him about clients, having to go to him, all these things, and doing it with a fucking smile on my face, being professional, never making it a thing in my office. And I think that I fucking should have gotten the world's best bonus. That's fucking crazy. We went through that breakup on Friday, and on Monday I had to see his ass in the office and then live with him for 2 months. And then even after he moved out, still see his ass Monday through Friday while I'm healing, while I'm trying to get over it, while I'm trying to make sense of everything, while I'm trying to not hate him, while I'm have no closure from him, no anything. And then I'm still having to be like, hey, so you're a 9 a.m. client, and act that wasn't a person that just ripped my life to shreds without a care in the world. It was insane. What? Pat myself on the fucking back for doing that. And all my friends were, I couldn't fucking do that. Because it's not normal to have to do that. It already sucks enough going through a heartbreak, cutting them off and never seeing them or talking to them again. It sucks even more when you have to go into your office and be there for 9 hours and see them day in and day out. That shit was ass. But you know what? I fucking got through it. I didn't leave my job. I did cry at my job a couple times. You know what I mean? That's just granite. But honestly, I think 2-3 times max. And it was probably that Monday that I had to go, and I hadn't seen him all weekend because I kicked him out of the house that Friday night, and I need my fucking space. And then so yeah, I see my ex fucking walk in that the last time I saw him we were breaking up. I'm gonna fucking shed a tear, okay? I am human. I think maybe once randomly after that. And then after that, it was like, big girl panties on, get your shit done, you're here to do a job. And I just did it every single day for a year. And I still somehow managed to heal from that breakup, to grow from that breakup, to give myself closure from that breakup. Do you know how difficult that was? To give myself closure and have all these things and have all these burning questions about a situation. Oh, you have all these questions, but it's like, well, I'm not going to text my ex. I'm not going to reach out to them. I have all these burning questions about why they did what they did, how they could do it, this, that, the other. And then I see his ass walk right in front of me every single day. Have to refrain from bitching someone out. That is crazy. But I fucking did it. I didn't turn to any kind of substance. I didn't hide from it. I was very vocal to my therapist, and I just did it. And it became so fucking normal, which is not good, but that is something I fucking accomplished. Having to work with my ex every single day for a whole year during and after our breakup. And then at the end of it, I can honestly say I'm good. It's not someone that I would call a pal of mine, but I was able to get over it. I was able to not hate him every single day that I would see him walk into the door. I was able to be mature about it. I was able to get over him in that time frame. I was able to just become friendly with him and kind. I was able to be there for him when things got rough with his own personal stuff, and I was able to put everything aside. And I think that's something I'm really proud of. That shocked me with my own growth and maturity, I guess, was that when I saw that he wasn't okay, I was able to be, Savannah, don't be a bitch. He is a human and he is not okay. Ask him. And I did. You know what I mean? And I would be there for him while he cries, or I would this, or I would that. And that had nothing to do with ever wanting him back. I think that is something I'm really proud of as well, is there was never a moment of, oh, I wish. No. Once it was done, it was done. People, you can't live with your ex and not hook up. Nope. That never happened. Once it was done, it was done. There was not for a moment that I was wanting him back. There was not a moment of weakness and we had a crazy night. No, once it was done, it was done. And I'm very much clean break. If you're my ex, you're my ex. I'm not going back to you. That's embarrassing. Once the trash is taken out, you don't fucking go through it to dig for a gem. No, it's out there for a reason. No shade to him. That's just my philosophy on anything with an ex. You ended it for a reason. It's done. Don't fucking go back. I don't want to see a person that I once did care so much about struggling alone. That whole process of it literally being a full year of working and seeing how it was at the very beginning in January to what it was when I left the job that I was at, you know, he congratulated me and asked me how I was and was very supportive of my decision. I am glad that I was able to see the growth of us, just it being a very mature process, and that showed me so much, and I am very proud of myself for accomplishing that and accomplishing it in a mature, kindest way I could, because there's definitely moments where I was toxic. Anyways, so that's that on all that drama. Something that I accomplished and that I'm proud of. Booked a lead in a film. And that goes back to my mood board for 2024. I really wanted to book a TV series of some sort. Obviously, huge goal. But this is where it is hard. Comparison. And I know comparison is the thief of joy, but it's really hard not to do that, especially in the acting industry. But I think, yeah, I booked a lead in a full feature. I need to be proud of that, and I need to recognize that, and I need to be proud of the work that I put into it, and I am. That happened, and that's something that I accomplished. And, you know, I booked a short and other little things, and it's not nearly what I wanted to book. It's not nearly the amount of projects I wanted. I think no matter what, I could always be so hard on myself, but I do want to recognize that I did do something and I booked something, and that's a win. I'm doing it, and I'm still doing it. That is something I booked, and obviously it's going to be on my mood board again next year. It's my biggest goal. It's my dream. It's why I'm out here. So we're just going to keep pushing on, keep working towards it. Another thing that I think is very obvious, connections. Friends definitely became family this year. And I mean, as we know, I have a whole entire episode on it called Platonic Love, if you want to go listen. It's the same friends that I had last year. It's just our bond got a lot closer. There's a couple new friends that I made as well, or that I got closer with, this year, and I really feel like I got a good circle, a good connection, obviously going through the breakup and, seeing the ones that really showed up for me and were there for me, and, vice versa. I feel a lot of my friends went through really big life changes this year, whether it be good or bad, and we were just kind of all able to be there together for each other. That is a huge thing that I'm proud of and that I accomplished, and the amount of energy and love that I put into my friends is something that I definitely made 2024 what it was. When I look back at all my best memories or my happiest moments, it all has to do with my friends. So yeah, that's something I'm very proud of, something that I hold very, very close to my heart, and something that I hope just continues to grow and blossom. And I think connecting with people and having those real, raw, authentic emotions and connections with people is what life is all about. So I hope to only continue that and see it blossom. So yeah, that is something that I accomplished and I'm very proud of. And I'm very proud of my connections that I made this year and having them through the whole year. People hate to see this one, but I found my voice. I definitely found my voice again this year. I refound it, reestablished it, found my confidence. I think I can confidently say that this is the year that I've been the most outspoken, the most direct, the most quote unquote problematic or mean, as men to say it, because I just say what I feel and I say what's on my mind and I tell the truth. Men hate to fucking see me coming, I'll tell you that much. But it's been great because it weeds out the weak ones. So I definitely found that this year. I definitely found my voice. I definitely stop being a people pleaser this year, and if it's not something that I see benefiting my life, I will let it be known and I will walk away from it, or I will tell you how I feel. I found my boundaries. I found a way to communicate my boundaries, just everything within relationship, within friendships, within family. I am able to put my foot down. I'm able to call people out. That is something I was I don't want to say never, but definitely found my voice a couple years back, when I ended that friendship that I've talked about before, and that I think was the seed of me speaking up. And granted, it had been so many things that had happened to me that led me to that point of ending that friendship, and I think that was a seed that planted, and it was so scary and this and that, and it blew up in my face. And then just slowly finding that confidence, and then after the breakup I was, oh no, I'm never letting someone walk all over me again. I'm never letting someone drag me through the mud just because they were too scared and they weren't confident enough to speak up on how they felt, and because they were a coward. I'm not going to let that happen to me again. And so I think just throughout this year, healing, finding confidence, getting my spark back, dating people again, and just through dating realizing, oh, fuck, no, I'm not going to let a guy talk to me like this or belittle me like this, and just finding my voice and practicing that. And I think even now, finding a way to not make everything a thing, but still finding the balance of, oh, this upsets me, I'm gonna let it be known, but not it being, oh, I'm gonna nitpick every little thing and he can't do anything right. Again, find balance. Yeah, I just found my voice this year, and that is a huge thing that I'm proud of, and I think that is going to continue to serve me. Having to deal with people being, oh, you're really confrontational, or oh, that you're mean. And it's, I'm not confrontational because I'm bringing up something that is also bothering you, but you're too scared to speak on. That's a huge thing I've noticed, is the only people, again, sorry, hate to say it, but it's the truth, the only people that have said this to me have been men. And it's when I bring out a situation that they're in the wrong about, or that they know is messed up, but that they were just hoping I would sweep under the rug. At the end of it, they're like, no, yeah, you're right. That does not make me confrontational because you did me dirty or because you said something disrespectful and I'm bringing it to your attention to let you know that that's not okay. That's not confrontational. That's just communication and you getting called out on your shit. And then those are the same ones that'll be like, you're mean. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not mean. I'm just not letting it slide. I'm not being a passive princess and I'm calling you out on your shit. That is not mean. That is not confrontational. Own up to your shit. If you're man enough to say it, be man enough to own up to it. So be it. But anyways, that's a huge fucking thing. I definitely found my voice and I'm really, really proud of that. Because me a couple years ago would just hold on to all these things that bother me and either blow up one day or have a panic attack from it one day. The only thing it was ever doing was making me unhappy, and I was just trying to protect everyone else's peace and make sure I didn't upset anyone else. Meanwhile, I was just holding it all in and suffering, and then would blow up and hurt no one but myself. So yeah, I learned how to not do that this year, and I'm really proud of it. Finding the fine line and not making everything a situation and not turning everything into something, but the things that do matter to me. And if I do feel disrespected or if I do feel a certain type of way, I will speak on it. I will think about it before I speak on it, and I will make sure that I feel it and that I'm not just doing it to do it. You know what I mean? But very proud of myself. People fucking hate that. And I started a podcast. a huge win this year. Again, I think it's something that I could not feel proud about a lot of the time because I only get X amount of streams, or I am working tirelessly for days on end, getting it edited, doing all of it, making all the clips, posting 5 videos a day on TikTok and then on Instagram and then YouTube Short. You know what I mean? While also doing my job and doing acting, and I have all these things on my plate, but it's all things that I love, and it's things that I need to put work into. And I think giving myself grace and a pat on the back for starting this podcast, because it's something that I'd wanted to do for a really long time. I think I've said this is my 3rd podcast I've had. I've been podcasting since 2018. I started my first podcast in Arizona, and then I had moved, so it kind of fell off. And then I had another podcast with my old best friend that we had for 2 years, I think. That kind of fell off, and then we were no longer friends, so that obviously fell off. And it was ever since that I was like, damn, I was really proud of that podcast, and I really enjoyed doing it. And it's something that, even that podcast, I edited the whole thing, and I this and that, and it was my baby. I think this year I was like, everyone has a podcast. It's so oversaturated. It's gonna look, I'm just now joining and da-da. I mean, not that fucking matters. No, this has been a genuine passion of mine for over 5 years. I've done it before. I know how to do it. I had the equipment. I didn't have to buy anything. Let me just fucking sit down and do it. And this is the first podcast I've had solo. Every podcast is I've either had a partner or multiple partners, because my last podcast, it started off with 3 of us. Yeah, it's a huge thing. I was excited to have something that I can completely take charge of, something that I had 100% say in, that I could come up with everything and I could just fully do on my own and be myself. I think, for acting and modeling, there's so much that's out of my control. I can't control if I'm going to book something. I can't control the projects that I'm going to be asked to submit for, this, that, the other. For this, I have control. I can do my own photo shoot for the cover. I can come up with the name. I can build out the platforms exactly the way I want to build them out. I mean, obviously not exactly. I don't have a budget for it, but you know what I mean? I can do everything within my power to make it be what I want it to be. And it's great. It's also very overwhelming. I'm doing all of this on my own, but it's something that I truly enjoy doing. And I just have to tell myself I have to be consistent with it. I don't want to fall off, because I think that's something that also gets frustrating, is feeling the other podcasts that I did put so much work into. Oh, those could have been really successful, but we weren't consistent. Oh, it fell off. And so it's just, no, it's me. I have no one to blame but myself. Be consistent with it. Work with it and see what happens. And so that is a huge thing I accomplished, and I'm very proud of myself, and I've stuck through it when shit has hit the fan, my job, or booking movies, or when schedule gets hard, or going through heartbreak again, or all these things, and I've still been, nope, we got to do the podcast, keep it together. So yeah, I'm really proud of it, and it's something that I definitely accomplished this year. Quit my job and found a new one a week later. That's a huge accomplishment. I had been wanting to leave that job that I was at for a minute. Obviously, after the breakup, definitely wanted to leave that job, and just needed something that was serving me more, was more flexible, was more in the realm that I wanted. Before, a manager in a 9-to-5 situation in office 5 days a week, it just was completely not what I came out to LA for. Yes, it was a salary job, and yes, that was nice, and I will never discredit all the things that it did give me, and I'm very grateful for it, but I knew for a very long time that it wasn't serving me. It was taking time away from me to do what I actually loved. I was too comfortable, so therefore I wasn't striving for more in my goals side of my life, of what I really wanted to do out here, my acting, my modeling, my podcast, all these things. And I just finally one day took the leap, wasn't planning on it, wrote the 2 weeks notice on my lunch break, gave it when I went into the office after my lunch, and had no plan, did not know what I was going to do, but I need to do this now. And so I'm so proud of myself, and it was so scary, and it is still scary. That was only 2 months ago. I was lucky enough to find another job a week later, and yeah, and it's still scary. The job that I have now, it's part-time, it's not salary, it's making half of what I made back then. I've had to cut a lot of things out of my life, can't live the lifestyle that I was living before, but I'm making it work, and I know that it was the right decision, and it's hard and it's scary, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's something that I am proud that I did. I'm very proud of myself, because I know how hard and how scary and how much I have to lose and how risky that was. But I also knew if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to make it work. And so far I have been. So that's a huge thing that I'm proud of. I mean, I wouldn't say heartbreak, because he doesn't deserve that title. I also went through getting completely and utterly destroyed and betrayed again this year over the summer. I was in a long distance relationship, as we know. Go listen. They're the hottest fucking episodes I have on this podcast, so at least I got that out of it. But that is another huge thing. After the breakup and the heartbreak that I had went through in December, to then finally opening my heart up to someone again and having love for them and doing all the things that relationship had become, and to then be cheated on and be betrayed worse than I had ever been betrayed before was difficult. It was really difficult. But again, once something is done, it's done. And I weirdly got over that one really, really quick. I mean, granted, as I should have, I got cheated on. We're not going to spend months on him. But I think damage-wise, I was really scared of I knew that was going to add a lot more trust issues to what I had already had. And yeah, I got through it. And again, therapy, friends. I guess thankfully, all the shit that I had just gone through previously in the year kind of prepped me for it, of you're going to be okay, obviously, but just healthy ways to think and get through it and know that it wasn't a me thing. To remind myself, this doesn't mean every person I go for is going to do this for me. You know what I mean? It's just, and I still want to do a whole episode on that, of what being cheated on does to a person mentally and how that fucks up the way that they think and value themselves and all of that. Because I think it is just such a mind fuck, and it fucks you up so much mentally. I got through it, and I can genuinely say I got over it in 2 weeks. Again, I let myself be really sad for that whole week. I had gotten cheated on, or I found out I had been cheated on while I was on vacation with this man. And so I flew back home. I flew back 6 days early from the fucking vacation that he paid for and flew 14 hours to. But whatever, they'll still cheat. And yeah, I spent that rest of my vacation time back home and just crying, feeling it out. Again, that's something that I learned from my past. So I'm happy that I had those tools and had therapy. And again, didn't deal with it in an unhealthy way. I just kind of knew from past of how to deal with it and how to deal with it in a healthy way. And yeah, I felt really good about it. But that's something I accomplished. And I think past me, if that would have happened to me, it would have taken me months to get over and would have done so much more damage. But again, I was unfollow, block number. I was on top of it. I knew what I had to do. I knew I wasn't going to run into him again because he lived in Italy. Oh, this is a piece of cake. I did this shit when I had to live with my ex and see with my ex. I can get over a man that lives in a completely different country than me. This is easy. That was a huge thing I accomplished and was able to, again, I think I still have those triggers of trust issues, which I've always had, but that obviously reignited them times 10, especially because it had to do with social media and this and that. Through social media is how I found out that he cheated on me. So it's just, that is a huge thing. And that is a huge thing that I'm working through right now. Something that I'm very proud of is I was able to give myself closure this year. I did not get closure from anyone that has wronged me over the past year. I have not gotten the apology or the respect or anything that I deserve. I genuinely needed it at times, but I think especially now I can confidently say I was able to give myself that closure. I don't feel I need to have a final talk with anyone from my past, which I don't think I could have said that in the beginning of this year. I don't feel disappointed by them. I don't feel any kind of hate towards anyone. I genuinely feel everything happened the way it was supposed to happen this past year, or whoever hurt me or whatever. I truly felt that although I did not need to be stronger, it did make me stronger. It did make me have to learn more about myself. It did make me sit down and reflect and see what I need to work on and all these things. And I'm proud to say that I have been able to give myself closure. I've been able to give myself the peace, and I've been able to give myself the happiness that they would not be able to give me. I'm very proud that I did not let the boys, I'm not even gonna call them men, the boys that did wrong me and hurt me and take my love for granted, ruin my ability to love again. That is something huge, and that was something that I was really scared that they would have taken away. And I think I realized that, and I was like, no, I'm taking my power back. There's no way in hell I'm letting these boys take my greatest gift, which is how I love and how deeply I love and how deeply I feel. They're not gonna get to take that away from me. And they didn't. And I can happily say that I have been able to feel those things again and be excited and be happy about someone and feel those feelings for someone. If you're with someone that genuinely cares about you and knows your past and knows how you are and cares for you and wants you to be in their life, they will give you that reassurance. They will sit down and talk to you for hours. They will show you this, they will show you that. Whatever, this is a whole other episode and not what this episode is about, but it is something that is a part of my year. Things just all play out the way that they should. This is a long episode, but it is all to say that everything happened the way it should this year, even though there's many parts of the year I wish did not happen or did not happen in my benefit, and there's so much more. The list of my accomplishments, I could easily, which is not good, but make a list just as long, if not longer, of all the things that I feel I didn't accomplish or I didn't do right or I wasn't successful in, or all the things I still want to do. But at the end of the day, these are my wins. They're things I'm proud of. They're things I got through. And it's what has led me to where I am right now. Where I am right now, I'm struggling. Okay? Mentally, physically, financially. I have done what I needed to do for myself this year. I've been selfish this year. I've spoken up for myself this year. I have walked away from toxic people, things, and jobs. And I'm going after what I truly want to go after. And if that's all I accomplished this year, then that is plenty for me. It is very easy for me to look at this year and be, I didn't accomplish anything. I didn't do this. I'm not where I want to be. I'm the furthest from where I want to be in my life right now. When I look back to when I moved here 5 years ago to LA, I was acting full-time. I was modeling full-time. Those were my only jobs. I was this, I was that. I lived in all these things I could say, but no, look at how far you've come. Even though it feels I haven't. All of the shit that I just told you that I went through, me back 4 or 5 years ago would be like, holy shit. And you did it in a healthy way. So I think that's where we have to look at the wins and give ourselves grace. I guess that is all just to say, I hope 2025 does not give me as many lessons and gives me a little bit more blessings, okay? I'm not religious, but that just rhymes, so I kind of had to go with it. I do hope that next year the universe takes me off of its strongest soldiers list, because I do not want to be that anymore, okay? I do not ever need to go through experiencing working with an ex again, living with an ex again, then getting cheated on by the first man that I decided to open my heart up to again after that, lose a job, this, that, the other. Take me off that list. Let's put me on the list where shit's on the up and up, okay? This year was all about, I had to do the work, I had to do all the things that I needed to do to better myself, to put myself in a better position, to go after my dreams, to let go of people. Can we have 2025 be the year where that flourishes? You know what I mean? Maybe we start getting rewarded. 2025, I think that sounds like a good deal. Your girl put in the fucking work this year. Maybe next year, our work is paying off. Our podcast goes really well. The Unwell Network wants to fucking have her on their network. Or Dear Media, hello, I would fit right in with y'all. Maybe this is the year 2025, okay? I'm manifesting it. I'm putting it out there. 2025, she gets moved to Venice, and actually, finally, for the first time within living in LA for 5 years, she finally gets to live in an area that she wants to live in. You know what I mean? She's not just living in the area that she can afford. She starts being financially stable. Her acting career is taking off. She books a series. She books one series. That's one. Just let me book one thing. I swear, universe, I will show you one thing, okay? She gets signed to a modeling agency again, okay? She's getting paid for her work. This is the energy we're putting out for 2025, okay? I don't get cheated on, and I don't get fucking obliterated by a man for once in my life, okay? I see what healthy love is. That's what we want. I have a partner that's there for my wins, and I can celebrate with and flourish with, and my friends just keep becoming better and better. She's doing what she loves full time. Her podcast is taking off. She's getting hotter than she's ever been before. The body is bodying. My crazy dog Cora is not biting dogs anymore. We are just leveling up. That's what I will end this episode on, okay? I put it out into the universe, okay? This is the last episode of 2024, and I hope to whoever is out there, the universe, God, whatever we believe in, I hope that a year from now, I can go back and I can look at this episode and how I end this episode and say, holy fucking shit, I did all of that. Okay? So this is me putting that to the universe. And I think you should do the same. Pause this right now. Scream what you want to achieve. Just in life, what you want to achieve, what you want your life to be. We have to speak it in order for it to be it. I don't know if that really made any sense, but we're going to go with it, okay? So take this time right now, write down all that you've accomplished this year, no matter how little or stupid or whatever it feels. What did you accomplish? What are you proud of? And then I want you to shout out to the universe all the things that you see for yourself happening in 2025, okay? I think I fucked that up. I think I was supposed to say I am going to do this, not I want to. Okay, you know what I mean? But I will book a TV series in 2025. I will get financially stable in 2025. I will have a podcast that gets seen by a bigger audience and is actually signed with some kind of agency, and I'm getting out there, and it's not just a one-woman show, and it is flourishing. All these things, okay? I will be signed to a modeling agency. I will be signed to an amazing acting agency. We are working, we are thriving. All the hard work and the dedication and us putting our fucking heads down and getting through shit in 2024 is going to pay off in 2025. Mic drop, I'm done. I love you guys. And if we want to see where this next year takes us, please follow me on social media. You can find me on Instagram at It Is What It Is with Van. I fucking hope to the universe and the TikTok gods that TikTok does not get banned in the new year, because that is the only place my thing does well. You can find me in the meantime on there. It Is What It Is with Van on Spotify, on TikTok, on YouTube. I'm Savannahmares. For everything else under this umbrella of me, you can find me on my own personal page at Savannahmares on Instagram. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And that has been my 2024. And I will see you guys in the new year. And I have really exciting stuff planned. I already have my first episode for that recorded, and it is with someone that I love so much. And I guess we'll see what the new year has to bring us. Bye, guys.